Hello, hello, hello. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, and happy new year to everybody. This is Jeff with Fluent American, and as always, we are here today to take a look at your pronunciation. Okay. If you're joining us for the first time, be sure to let me know. And if you're watching the replay, you can also let me know too if this is your first time seeing it. But again, we are going to take a look at your pronunciation files. You're going to see up top, there is a link to a document where you can add your own audio. I'm gonna check something. Yep. So once you're inside of that document, you're going to see that you can use a link from Vocaroo and you can record yourself and you can send me that link and I will be able to hear you and provide some suggestions if your goal is to improve your American English. Hello, hello to all of our friends. Hello, Emmanuel. Hello. Thanks for joining us today. Happy New Year to everybody. Also, I've put a note if you have a goal for 2022. I'd love to hear it, whether it's language related or not. I know that for me personally, the goal is this year is exciting. The channel's about to be monetized. We're actually still not monetized because we have a lot of shorter videos when we first started. So that's something that we're expecting to see in January at something. And then, of course, continuing to provide even more content for you guys. So if there's also a video topic that you would like to see in the future, you can help us out by letting us know. But these are also the sentences that we're going to be taking a look at today, which are also New Year's related. Okay. Let's say for Mesa, great to see you as well. Lots of regular faces, which is great. Let's talk about this first sentence, though, to get started. How would we say this sentence? Take a moment to kind of say it to yourself if you didn't send in an audio file. We want to particularly be paying attention to what words are we stressing, what sorts of linking are we using, reductions, anything of that nature. So if I were going to say this sentence, I would probably have one stress. I would probably use one. So that's something I'm going to be listening for in yours. I also can identify a place where I would have a contraction and some linking going on as well. So we'll see if you guys are doing the same thing. But I would say this sentence as, what's your New Year's resolution this year? What's your New Year's resolution this year? Okay, so what's going on? Well, when I say that, let's kind of work from the back and then move to the front. Okay, so I would probably start off by saying this year, this year. So notice that when you have like an S sound that links with a Y, it often becomes like a sh. We see this, for instance, like, oh, what's your name? What's your name? Okay, it can even become like a CH sound too, like what's your name? You can get that too. It's like what's your. Those are some common linking forms that you're going to see. So I would probably say this year, this year. Okay. If you say this year, there's nothing wrong with that. I believe what you're going to encounter though is that if you try to say that in rapid speech, like this year, it's a little bit tricky to say. Whereas when you say this year, it's a little bit easier. And that's why we do linking. We don't do linking to make your life harder or to make English seem more complicated. We're doing it to actually make things easier and a little bit less difficult to pronounce. So I would recommend trying to practice that like this year, if that's not something you're currently doing. Um, in addition to that, so New Year's resolution, I would notice that resolution is going to be our heavy stress, right? Resolution. What's your New Year's resolution? What's your New Year's resolution? So even at the start of the sentence, notice that what is your, instead of saying what is your or what's your, notice that I'm reducing that as well, similar to what we saw earlier. It's like what's your New Year's resolution? What's your New Year's resolution this year? What's your New Year's resolution this year? Okay, so just a note on that. Pay attention to that linking. Give me a second to check one thing. Okay, other things that we're going to see here. What's your New Year's resolution? How about New Year's resolution? New Year's. Notice that linking with New Year's. So that ooh linking with the Y. So ooh years. Try not to have a space or a break in between them. New Year's resolution. New Year's resolution. Same thing also with the years, with the res. It's going to keep going. Don't pause. It's not years res. It's more years res. Res. That's kind of the linking you want to from Z to an R sound. Zr, Zera. It's like a New Year's resolution this year. Some other things that you want to be paying attention to as well. We have a lot of short I sounds. So, for instance, that sounds like resolution, like shin. Okay. And also this. Okay. This. Exactly. So, resolution and this. Watch out for that short I. And again, technically, is would also have that short I sound as well, like what is. But again, that gets reduced like washer or washer. Yeah. And again, we have a note here about the linking, like washer, washer. Yeah, just watch out. Again, you don't want to make it to an ah sound. That's the only thing I would say. So it's not washer, it's more washer, washer. Okay. But yeah, it's that right. Same idea with that sh sound in the Okay. What's your New Year's resolution this year? What's your New Year's resolution this year? So I can even ask you, what's your New Year's resolution this year? Okay. Talk a little bit about goals for the channel. For me, if you have some other questions about linking or stress for this sentence, be sure to let me know because I'll be happy to discuss those in more detail. But let's move on to our second option. So when you open the document, you'll see that there are two sentences you could say. The second one that you could say is this. So just some common resolutions that people have. I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more. You need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more. So we have a list, and there's different ways you could pronounce lists. As if we have this list with three items, you would expect there to be about three major stresses. So go to the gym, gym first stress, find a new job, job your second stress, and read more. And read would be your last stress. Okay. Now, just to note, if you had a noun after read, like if you said read more books, then you would expect books to receive the stress. But we don't have a noun in this situation. We just have the verb, so we'll put the stress there. I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more. Um, in terms of intonation, you will notice that for lists, and my guess is that a lot of you are already doing this. This is a pretty common pattern that people are familiar with, is that when you have a list before your commas, you're going to use a rising intonation. Rise. It's like gym, gym, job, job, and but notice that for the last one, so the last item on your list, you're going to use the opposite intonation. You're going to fall here and read more, read more. So again, I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more. Okay. Another way you can do lists is, especially for emphasis, is you may hear people using falling intonation for everything. Like I need to go to the gym, find a new job, read more. Okay, it just makes it sound a little heavier, a little bit more serious, but that is another option that you will hear people use with lists. A little bit less common, but still possible. Okay. Some other things. We talk about linking, and this is a question related to linking. Can you drop the T in to go and the flap D in need? Okay. And I think what we're going to see is that someone need to go. Drop the T and the need to go. So I would say let's like look at that first one. It's like I need to go. I need to go. Need to go. I think you're going to hear a couple different. There's lots of possibilities with T sounds. There's many ways that you can pronounce them, and even the same speaker in different situations may use a different T sound. So some options that you have, you could say I need to go, need to go. So it's like need. It's almost like a held D, then followed by another D sound. It's like need. I need to go. I need to go. It's a situation like that. Need to go. You may also hear though people do drop that D sound. So like I need the so that first D in need disappears. Then you have that two and two go, but that T, because it's surrounded by vowels, it's become like a fast D sound. So it's gonna also sound like a D. It's like need the need a I need to go. I need to go. So a situation like that you can hear. Okay. The one that's probably going to be less common is pronouncing the D and then a T. It's like I need to go. I need to go. Because that's just a little bit harder to do, especially in a rapid speech. It's hard to add that breath for the T. So I don't think that one is going to be as likely. So again, probably need the or need the. Those are probably going to be your most common options for that one. Notice too that two, if you're saying I need to go, that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think what you're also going to hear native speakers do is reduce that to. So instead of saying to go, a lot of times it comes like to go, or the go, but not do go or to go. Okay, so those would be too strong. It's just a quick note about those twos. That's also going to apply to that next two as well. Go to the, go to the, go to the. If you're looking for something to practice for linking and reductions, that's a good phrase to practice. Go to the, go to the, go to the. So again, notice that linking, go to the, but also the reduction on that usa. Go to the. Okay. And the second part of the question was flat D and need. Oh, that was the same thing. Okay, need the. Okay, so I think we answered that question. Let me know if you need more information about that. Another question too is what about the and? Can you reduce the and? Yeah, and is often a word that is reduced. It's not often a word that you hear pronounced as and. And find a new job is find a new job and read more. A lot of times, what happens with and is it gets reduced to just like an and, where the a gets dropped, or sometimes even the d gets dropped, and you just get left with like an mm. Find a new job and read more. Find a new job and read more. Read more. Read more. Okay, so maybe you can hear it a little bit more clearly with that. And read more. And in fact, this is actually something that you'll see sometimes if you read a lot of advertisements or if you look up the names of stores and things like that. One thing, if a company has and in their name, a lot of times they don't write and, they write like n, just like an like an n with an apostrophe or something like that. And part of the reason is for this exact situation where the and is just reduced. And so the sound it gets replaced with is just with an N or sometimes with an apostrophe N and things like that to show that, again, it's really and. Okay. So just a note about that. So let's go back to that second sentence again. I need to go to the gym. We talked about that first part. I need to go to the gym. Go to the gym. That's a great reduction exercise to practice. Go to the gym. Go to the gym. Go to the gym. Go to I'm just raising and lowering my tongue really quick for the go that go to the gym. Also note gym has a short I sound. This tends to be a difficult word for a lot of people. So watch out if you're saying gym. Not quite right. Again, you want more of a short I sound. So it's not gym, it's more gym. And we talked about short I's a lot in our previous videos. You can just type in short I on our channel and see what practice exercises we have. Find a new job. So we have some linking here, right? Find a, so that D on find is going to link with the It's like find a. Also note just in terms of like pitch and things like that, your stress is on job. So you want to keep the find a new, that part pretty low. Find a new job. Find a new job. Okay. Find a new job. Find a new job. And the last one, and read more. And read more. Heavy stress on read. And then you're finishing with more, which is a lot weaker. And read more. So again, I would read this as I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more. I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more. Okay, so that's including all the reductions, all the linking, and things like that that we have mentioned. Okay, take a moment just to wait and see if people have other questions about this. But again, our first option, one stress. What's your New Year's resolution this year? I'm looking for one stress in your audio files today. And for the second sentence, I'm expecting about 3. You can go to the gym, find a new job, and read more. So those would be my own expectations. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of audios that we listen to today include some extra stresses because that tends to be pretty common, but we'll take a look at that. Second one, I expect to be a little bit more standard because it's a little bit more regular of a sentence. And again, if you have not sent in your audio and you're interested in it, or maybe you're watching this in the replay, you're not watching this live, but you want to send in your audio in the future. Again, take a look at this link. It's the same link for every live stream that we do. And then basically I just refresh it and then allow you to re-input your audio files. But enough about me. Let us now take a look at what we really came here to see. Oh, let me add myself there, right? Again, it's not little, it's more little.
The G host was class.
Are you feeling that here, or here? All right, so we are now going to be taking a look at your audio files. I will be sharing my screen and audio with you. You'll see me put on my headphones so I can hear what you are saying and things like that. And of course, if you have questions about anything as we go through it, just send me a message in the chat box and I will take a look as soon as I can. All right, let's see what you guys got. Also need to remember to drink. Another New Year's resolution for me is I need to drink more water because that is how we stay alive. Let us share everything. And make sure that we share our audio as well. Okay, at this point in time, you guys should see what I am seeing. Okay, so these are, again, this is the document that you will see when you send your audio files. And I've screened everything, and everything's right now sounds okay. We don't have any surprises at the moment, but things are always changing, right? Hello to Zaveda checking in. It's great to see you. Happy New Year, miss. And let's take a look at the end. Just have to find my mouse. Sometimes I lose it. Okay, let's listen to our first file, see what sentence that we have.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
Okay, play again.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
What is your New Year's resolution this year? Okay, so you're putting a lot of weight on new. See if you can hear that. Stress right now I'm hearing is really on new.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
What is your New Year's resolution this year? And you know what? If you're going to stress new, that makes it sound like you're trying to clarify, right? It sounds like you were like, no, now it is your old year's resolution. What's your New Year's resolution? So that's kind of the impact that that's going to have if you put the stress on new, just in terms of semantics and the meaning people will get from that. So my first most obvious suggestion is going to be change your stress, because I think you're stressing a word that would be less standard. The more common word to stress, again, would be resolution. What's your New Year's resolution this year?
What is your New
Again, how about that? What is your?
What is your?
What is your? So some things I like, I do. So you have some linking going on. So you have that, especially between what is. So you're using a fast D sound. What is? Okay, which is great. I would say that it may be even more common with the reduction to reduce it even more, like what's your or what's your. Okay, so I like the reduction you're doing. Consider using even other reductions. It might even be more common than what's your New Year's resolution.
What is your?
Or another thing too is using a contraction, like what's your New Year's resolution. That's I think the least common one you're going to hear in like standard speech is like what is your. The more common ones are going to be contractions, like what's your, or reductions with contractions, like what's your or what's your. Okay, so just a note about that. Hello to Show checking in. Great to see you. Let's play that again, that first part.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
I like this year at the end too. Again, we mentioned some other reductions that you could do, like this year at the end. The other major comment that I would have here is I think that you're over stressing your words. So I mentioned already that I would change what words you're stressing, but I would also not make it quite so strong. Play again.
What is your New Year's resolution?
It's like, what is your New Year's versus what's your New Year's resolution? What's your New Year's resolution this year? Your pitch doesn't have to go super high. I think you could have dropped it down just a little bit, and it still would have sounded stressed, but fine.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
Yeah, so that would be my big thing about. I would change the stress a little bit. Okay, but again, I think you're doing some great things with linking. I think in general the pitches for the rest of the sentence are pretty good. Things are sounding pretty clear. Change that stress. See how that has an impact on you. And thanks as always for sending your audio. Can't do this without you guys. Thanks so much. We're going to take a listen now to our second audio file. And as always, if you guys have questions about anything or you want to send some more audio files for me to take a look at, you can do it right here in the document. Here's our second file.
What is your New Year's resolution this year? What is your New Year's resolution this year?
Okay, so we have some rising intonation at the end. See if you can hear that on the word year.
Resolution this year.
You hear that year. Play again.
Resolution this year.
And I think a lot of people are taught, and I'll be guilty, when I first started teaching, I taught this as well, is that when you have a question in English, you have rising intonation. And that's really only half true, or maybe even less than that, because it's true for yes/no questions. Like, for instance, like, are you busy? Or like, do you live here? These are questions where the answer is yes/no. But for information questions that start, for instance, like with a word like what? Like, what's your New Year's resolution? You're actually not going to have a rising intonation at the end. You're going to have a falling intonation at the end. So you would expect year to have more of a fall this year. This year. It's like, what's your New Year's resolution this year? So that's the very first thing I can tell you is that watch out for that intonation at the end because it's going to make it sound a little bit less natural.
This year.
Because it's a year, more year. I also feel like maybe it didn't get there.
This year.
Resolution
this year.
Year. It almost feels like you have two parts to your vowel sound on year. So again, just make sure it goes right from the E to the R. Year. Other things here.
What's your New Year's resolution?
New. Very tense on new. Do you hear that? Like new versus no.
What's your New Year?
New versus no. No. What's your new? So again, watch out. This is especially common for my friends who have learned British English training and things like that. Ooh sounds. But typically in British English, often get linked with like an E type sound. So it's like ew versus ooh. Okay. American English does not have that. After consonants, especially. It's like no, blue, true, booth, things like that. So watch out for those. Make sure you're not adding an E sound before it. So it's not bu, it's boo. It's not new, it's no. Just a note on that sound. Also, again, that ooh sound, low in the throat, relax, placement. Right now, it's not a little tense and a little bit blocked. I'm getting like new versus no.
What's your New Year's resolution?
New versus no. Again, more air through the throat would have been helpful. Some other things.
What's your New Year's resolution this year?
Okay, we mentioned already some linking things that you could do, so like this year or what's year. And again, that's not quite happening here. And that's fine. You don't have to do them. It's just some things to consider.
What's your New Year's resolution this year?
I would also say it sounds like to me you're giving me two stresses. You're stressing new. And again, we said norm is stressful form resolution. And you're also stressing a bit year. And I don't think you need that stress.
What's your New Year's resolution this year?
Yeah. So those are the big things I'm going to say for this. Stress, cut down your stresses. Also change your stress. So instead of new, put it on resolution. Linking. Again, you don't necessarily have to do it this way, but I would play around with some of those linking things we suggested, like what's year, and also on this year. Okay, so things like that. Also placement for your new sound, your ooh sound. Try to get that a little bit lower, a little bit more open for more air to come through your throat. Those would be my big recommendations for this. Okay. But let's play it one more time. Again, the way I would say this is, what's your New Year's resolution this year? What's your New Year's resolution this year? What's your New Year's resolution this year?
What's your New Year's resolution this year?
Yeah, listen to people. It affects how I'm saying. Yeah, I would put the stress on resolution. What's your New Year's resolution this year? Okay. Thank you so much for sending me this audio, Marcos. I believe that was you. I can't do this without you, man. I always appreciate you sending it. We had a quick question from Z. I'll stop sharing just for a moment. Make a video with some basic common phrases. We learned right pronunciation. Yes, I do. I know I have one with like the most common vowel sounds. If you could give me a context of it, it's like common expressions, like just in general, just a general list, or there's like specific situations, like when you meet expressions for when you meet someone, expressions for a job interview, expressions for talking with your friends. If you give me just a little bit more context, that would be most helpful for you. Let me know, and I'd be happy to take a look at it. But again, if you just want like the most frequently asked expressions and things like that, let me know. Okay. So we listened to a couple audio files and many more to go. Let me share my screen and my audio once more. Give me one moment. Just gotta make sure I share the right screen. Okay, let's take a look at this one. It's the same one.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
Oh, what a great microphone. So, really nice microphone.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
What's your New Year's resolution? What is your New Year's resolution this year? What's your New Year's resolution this year?
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
New resolution. Are you saying that?
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
Resolute versus resolute. I'll watch out a little bit for that ooh sound. Sound a little bit tense and close, like resolute versus resolute. Compare how I say resolution to this.
What's your New Year's resolution this year?
Resolution versus resolution. Okay, so That's a very minor thing, but kind of just something to pay attention to, that ooh sound.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
Yeah. This sounds really clear. I don't have a whole lot of suggestions.
Resolution this year.
I like the this year. You're not doing the linking, but that's okay. Again, it's not necessary. It's just something to maybe think about because it sounds like you're doing a lot of things pretty well. So if the goal is to sound even more like native speakers in the US, then considering that this year might be something to just take a look at. Okay. And again, not all native speakers are going to do this, and they're not always going to do it all the time. It's just something to think about. Okay. Same thing with the first part.
What is your New Year's resolution?
What is your so it's very like you're gonna be every single word.
What is your New
What is your versus what's your or what's your and things like that. And again, there is nothing wrong with saying every single word individually. But my guess, and again, I haven't had a conversation with you, but just kind of hearing this, my guess is that you have a tendency to speak very clear English. You're saying all your words probably very well enunciated and things like that. And you kind of need to decide, what's your goal? What do you want to do with your speaking? Because are there native speakers that do that and speak super clearly like that? Yeah, there are. But I think that, again, things like reductions and linking and things like that are going to be a little bit more common, especially like for times when you're talking with friends and things like that. It's one thing if you're doing an interview or giving a presentation or a meeting and things, and you want to sound really clear. But right now, your English feels very neat to me. And I think, so excuse me if you're my son, I think one thing you may consider is, hey, maybe we can try and make things just a little bit messier. Because it sounds like things are super, super clear. Now, again, it all depends on your goals. For some people, to get in that really clear sound is perfect, and that's all they need, and that's all they want. And if that's the case for you, cool, stick with it. But I would say if you're listening, especially like instead of like watching the news or things like that, let's say like you end up like listen to like movie dialogue or listen to cartoons and see how the characters are talking to each other. And I just don't think this is the type of sound you're going to often hear.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
Yeah, but this again, it all depends on your goals. I think this sounds super clear. I think you did a great job with this. Again, in terms of more serious critiques, again, I would just consider looking at that ooh sound, like resolution, and say ooh, more ooh. That would be my big thing. But those, again, just some quick thoughts for you. Thank you so much for sending this file. I do appreciate it, and I can't do this without you. Moving right along, let's make sure I'm not missing anybody. And again, if you want to get your own file added, there is still time. Okay, you can just go down here, type in your name, and go to vocaroo.com so that way you can send in your audio. Listen to our next file.
I need to go to the gym, find a new job, or read more.
I feel like in some ways this is like the opposite of the previous one. Lots of reductions here, lots of linking.
I need to go to the gym, find a new job, or read more.
Okay. Maybe so much that, again, it almost slurs, especially in the first half. I think the second half was clearer than the first half.
I need to go to...
I need to... That's kind of you're doing. I need to... So one immediate thing that could have helped a little bit just in terms of clarity. Now, there are people that talk like this. There are people that mumble and things like that among native speakers. But just something that could be helpful is, again, and I think we talked about this before, giving your sentences just a little bit more backbone with consonant sounds. Because consonant sounds are basically kind of what gives shape to your sentence. The vowels give it everything. They give it the form and everything. They give it the sound. But the consonants kind of help give shape. And if you don't have the consonants strong enough, it can all turn to mush.
I need to go to the gym.
And I need to go. So notice that little difference there. Like if you had a need to go, no need the. I would make that D sound. That I think you mentioned this earlier, right? But you were asking about the need and to. Yeah, like this part. Need to. I would have kept one of the fast D sounds. I would have kept one of them just to give it a little bit more shape. I need to go to the gym. Go to the gym. I think if just doing that would have made a huge difference in terms of sound quality for this first part.
I need to go to the gym.
Okay, I need to go to the gym because I think the go to the gym part's okay.
I need to go to the gym.
When here to go to the
Go to the gym.
go to the gym. Go to. I think your the's a little strong. Probably have in all your file full reductions. I think you actually could have reduced your the just a little bit more.
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym. Go to the like. It sounds like you're slowing down there.
Go to the gym.
Go to the gym versus go to the gym. Go to the gym. Go to the gym. Okay, so I would just slightly reduce the a little bit more.
The gym. Find a new job.
Find a new job. Find a new job. I like that. Let me play again.
Find a new job.
Maybe slightly tense on new. I feel like I might be hearing new versus no. No, a little lower, a little more air. No. Find a new job.
Find a new job.
Okay, but in general, I think that sounds pretty good.
Read more.
And read more. And read more. So kind of like the heavy fall. And read more. Versus and read more. And read more. And read more.
Read more.
Let's hear it again.
I need to go to the gym. Find a new job. Read more.
Read more. I think that can work. That's not the intonation pattern that's not the sound pattern I originally was considering, but I think it can work. I don't have an issue with it.
I need to go to the gym. Find a new job. Read more.
Yeah, because it kind of changes the tone of it a little bit. Like I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more. Versus I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more. Like it sounds a little it's a little bit softer. Like and read more versus and read more. That's kind of the difference in pitch. I think both can work. I don't really have an issue with that. I think my biggest suggestion for you here would be for that first part.
I need to go to the gym.
I'll just add again that stronger fast D sound. Okay. I hope that's helpful. I think there's a lot of good stuff here. I like the second half a little bit more strongly than the first half, just because I think it's just a little bit clearer. But yeah, I hope those gives you some things to think about for this sentence. But nice work. I appreciate it. Thank you for sending audio. I really do appreciate it. Moving right along to our next file here.
I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more.
Again, like gem versus gym. And I should have been showing these sentences. So this is the one that you just heard. Let me play it again. Okay. By the way, Doug, if you are watching this, thanks for checking out the live stream.
I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more.
Play it one more time.
I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more.
Okay, let me I like your microphone. Your microphone's really clear. Voice coming really clear. I think you kind of, this is similar to one we saw a little bit earlier. Things are very clearly enunciated, which is great. I don't think clarity is an issue for you.
I need to go to the gym.
Some little things you're reducing somewhere. It's like I'm hearing like jam. I need to go to the gym. Almost kind of. It's not quite like a Valley girl, like California accent, but it's kind of like teasing it a little bit. But again, I would recommend a little bit stronger of a short I sound. So instead of jam, more gym. I need to go to the gym. Okay, j. And again, with the short I sound, sides of your tongue, touching your top teeth. Front of your tongue down, back of your tongue down, more and again, low in the throat, And if you keep getting some other things you can try doing. Open your mouth a little wider, like As you get more used to the sound, you won't have to have your mouth so wide, but just kind of something to think about. It's like gem. So it's not gem, it's more gem. I need to go to the gym.
I need to go to the gym.
So gem. It almost sounds like gem, like GEM, like a jewel. Gem. Other things for the first part.
I need to go to the.
I need to go. Do you hear that? I need to go. I'm exaggerating.
I need to go to the.
But it's there, right? That I need to. And again, it's just native speakers. Typically, you're not going to hear those super strong. I would consider removing that breath. Play with some of those other D sounds. I mean, fast. Those other T sounds, right? Like either a fast D or a held T for that section there.
I need to go to the gym. I need to go to the gym.
I need to go to the gym.
I need to go to the gym.
I need to go to the gym. I need to go to the gym. You're also breaking it up, so you split this into two thought groups. You're like, I need to go to the gym. So you're giving me two stresses. You have stress on need and you have stress on gym.
I need to go to the gym.
I need to go to the gym versus I need to go to the gym. I need to go to the gym. Okay. Again, and there's nothing wrong with having more thought groups and more stresses. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that. It's just an exercise that I think would be good to practice for my students in general, because I find that people who learn English tend to have a lot of thought groups and a lot of stresses. So I would just say play around with it. See if you can get this down to one stress just on gym and go to gym. And notice how much I can reduce that first part if my stress is on gym. I can do I need to go to gym. 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 Okay. And if you're just listening to that and you don't hear the word gym, native speakers won't understand you. Like, I need a, people be like, what? What did you say? But then you add gym and it changes everything. I need to go to gym. And like, oh, you need to go to the gym. Like, it's like people understand it perfectly. So context is always key with these reductions. Before we move on, just a quick question here from Zabay. Is a Valley Girl accent a good accent or people make fun of it? I mean, I don't think any accent is necessarily good or bad. I think that Valley Girl accents tend to... I do think that they tend to get made fun of a little bit. But again, depending on where you are, I mean, if you go, for instance, like West Coast, I mean, your stereotypical would be like West Coast, California, the Valley, obviously. The people around you are doing it and you do it is perfectly natural. I do think it's interesting when people who learn English have those types of accents. I remember when I was the director at a language center, one teacher I hired was from China, and she had a super heavy Valley Girl accent. And it's like, it's just a little bit unexpected, like out of all the accents to study in English, this is the one you pick. It's just unexpected because it's such a specific one. It's a little bit unusual to hear people who learned English pick it up. So that's kind of my thought on it. But again, there's nothing wrong with it. People understand it. There's plenty of people that have it when they're talking, but I do think sometimes it can be put in jokes and things like that.
I need to go to the gym.
So I need to go to the gym.
Find a new job.
Find a new job. I like how you read that. I find a new job.
Find a new job.
The one thing I would say is that you're breaking your pattern a little bit.
Need to go to the gym.
So, excuse me. So you have this list, right? You're saying a list of things. And one concept that is fundamental to English, especially with writing, but also in speaking, is a concept called parallel structure. And if you're watching this and you want to improve your writing and you also want to improve your speaking, but you don't know what this is, if you have never heard of parallel structure, then this is something I would I would say pause the stream and look this up, because this is like a real key concept. If you can understand this, it will help you so much with kind of understanding the mindset and the structure of English. Parallel structure basically states, though, that whatever you do to one part of a sentence, you also apply elsewhere. It's all about repeated patterns. And this gives you so much freedom. You think it's a repeated pattern, so it feels very structured, but it actually gives you more freedom. Like, for instance, when you say a sentence like, oh, I was eating, driving, and listening to music. Notice that I can just say I was eating, driving, listening to music. I don't need to say I was eating, I was driving, I was listening, because of parallel structure, because it's the same verb tense repeated over and over again. So I can remove things. I can take off the subject. I can take off the verb to be. So it gives you a lot more freedom and flexibility with your sentences and things like that. English really likes repetition. It loves structures that reappear over and over again. Okay. And this also applies to the way you talk. So you have a list. You're giving me repeated things in a list. So what you would expect in this is that however you say the first part, you would want to see, you'd want to apply that to elsewhere as well. So for instance,
I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more.
You break the pattern a bit in your second part.
The gym.
So you say, go to the gym, go to the gym, go to the gym, go to the gym. So you kind of this like soft fall, gym, go to the gym, Okay. So then your listener is oftentimes going to expect you to repeat that same pattern, like find a new job. But instead, we get
Find a new job.
you break it, find a new job. So now, like you job, like before gym, job, you broke the pattern. Now, this can actually work to your advantage, especially in times where you want to draw attention to something, because if you keep repeating the same pattern, English likes it, but at the same time, it can also become repetitive and it doesn't draw as much interest. Whereas if you break the pattern, you immediately draw attention to it. Okay. Like I said earlier, normally with lists, you use rising, falling, like this, this. But if you use falling for everything, it's a bit unusual, so it makes it sound more serious. This, you know. So that's kind of the effect that it has when you break your pattern.
To the gym. Find a new job and read more.
I would just another note too on more. I think your R sound just slightly could be a little bit more open. More.
Read more.
I'm hearing more versus more. Just a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more air through the throat. I think would be helpful. Okay. So again, in terms of breaking the pattern, that's not necessarily an issue. It's just kind of something to be aware of that you're doing it. So that may change how you may be doing things with your language that you don't intend to. I'll put it that way.
I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more.
Yeah, I would say the second half in general, this sounds a little bit stronger to me than the first because I think you're doing more linking. I think you have more reductions. I think the pace is a little bit more natural, fewer stresses. The part I would really concentrate on is that first part.
I need to go to the gym.
I need to go to the gym because it's just like kind of start, stop. So pay attention to those things I mentioned about linking and things like that. But again, those are just my thoughts. I hope that's helpful. If you have questions, be sure to leave them in the chat box or in the comments if you're watching this later. And thank you, as always, for sending audio. Happy New Year. I see that we have a question from Z. Let's take a quick look at this. So Z, yeah, speaking of writing, I want to ask you if any tips for writing a piece of art. When you say writing a piece of art, like a book, or like poetry, or like fiction or nonfiction, like what do we, or like describing a piece of art or things like that. One thing I would say immediately is whatever type of writing you're trying to do, and this is also true for speaking, whatever you're trying to do with the language, like if you're trying to write emails, or if you're trying to talk better on the phone, or if you're just trying to give better presentations, whatever it is that you're trying to improve with your language, my biggest suggestion is you expose yourself to that same form. Okay, so like for instance, if we want to get better at writing emails, well, like reading a book and writing a book probably isn't going to be super helpful for you. It'll give you some vocab and things like that, but it's not the most practical. If you're trying to write emails, read lots of emails, analyze emails that you get. If you are doing poetry, for instance, I really enjoy poetry. For all my poetry people out there, I'm actually thinking of starting a new channel around poetry. If you're trying to do poetry, you have to read it. If you want to be a journalist, you have to read news stories. These are the things. So my biggest suggestion is take the form that you're interested in and read as much as possible. Okay. Yeah. Sound like an author. Okay, short stories. Yeah, short stories are super popular nowadays. So my biggest recommendations would be first thing would be read short stories. You may be like, okay, but how do I find short stories? We're gonna digress a bit. Raina, thank you. It was great to hear that. Super clear. I'm going to share my screen with you. We're going to take a look, show you. So for instance, if you're looking for more creative types of writing, you're tired of the news and things like that. I totally understand that. Or maybe you're just interested in that sort of writing. We need to find some things to read. Okay. There's a website called Perpetual Folly, and they do rankings for I use this a lot when I'm doing if I'm sending out poetry submissions. They have rankings for different literary magazines, and I think short fiction and things like that are really helpful or even fiction because they tend to be not so long. Okay. Now I'll put this link in the chat in case you want to follow along and kind of see. So basically, all of these are going to be different literary journals. Some of them aren't yet to pay, some of them are free. Okay, so what you can do is, so for instance, what's the one that I know is free? I think Kenyon Review has some ones that are free in addition to their paid content. Okay, so you can see, so this is online and they give you the types. So for instance, nonfiction, fiction, fiction. Okay, so for instance, I could read this and I could read this story. Okay, so things like that. Okay, another journal you may like, there's one journal I really enjoy is Adroit. I believe they have a prose section. Okay. But yeah, literary journals, this is one thing that I think the US does a really great job on. Is if you're a writer, you want to go to issues. So for instance, I'm going to the latest issue. And what you're going to see here is the poetry section, so you can check out the poetry. Prose is what if you're interested in like stories and things like that, you want to look for prose. Okay, so if you're interested in writing like stories and things like that, you want to consider things like nonfiction. Sometimes it's also called short. There's also short story, which would be short form fiction. There's also just fiction, which would be longer. And prose would just be another word for fiction. But yeah, I would definitely say check those out. Okay. Yeah, I'm a big fan. This is one of my favorite journals. I like what they do. But again, my taste may be different than yours. So play around, find a journal that you really like. But for my people interested in writing or just improving their vocab or just getting exposure to native sounding language, literary journals, all about literary journals. Okay. Check those out. Okay. Zubaida, I hope that is helpful. We have some other audio files to try to get through. Give me one moment to share my screen again. My mouse keeps going crazy. Should audio, should this. Okay, we are back here. Listening into your pronunciation files. Okay, so if you just joined us, again, what we're doing is every Saturday, you can send me an audio file using this document. You will see that everyone's posting these links. I can then go to the link and listen to your audio file, okay? And then give you some feedback for your pronunciation. So if you want to get that done, send in your audio file. And if you're watching this in the replay, you don't, again, have to necessarily wait for the next stream to do this. I use the same link all the time and just refresh it. So you can send in new audio anytime. Okay. Yes, in prose, if you're interested in the literary community, yeah, prose is a super helpful word to know. Super common word. All right, 2 seconds for this audio file. I'm excited because they flew through this. Let's take a listen.
What's your noise resolution this year?
You hear it again?
What's your noise resolution this year?
Year's resolution. Okay, second time was much, much, much clearer to me. Took me a moment to hear it. Let me hear it again.
What's your noise resolution?
What's your New Year's versus New Year's?
What's your noise resolution?
Okay, you're reducing. Okay, so I like the linking you're doing, and I like the reductions you're doing. Though my only comment is you're also reducing some sounds, for instance, like the long I sound. And the long I is a vowel sound that really doesn't get reduced. Okay, it's like turning me into meh, or like turning like city into like city. And I think you're doing it with year. Listen to how you say New Year's.
What's your noise resolution?
You got New Year's, New Year's, New Year's versus New Year's, New Year's, New Year's. I think if you had maintained that long I sound for that section, it would have made a huge difference in terms of clarity. But because it got reduced, it gets a little muffled.
What's your noise resolution this year?
Yeah, that's going to be my biggest suggestion. I would have kept that long I sound on years because I think that would have dramatically changed how this sentence sounds. So instead of what's your New Year's resolution this year?
What's your noise resolution this year?
What's your New Year's resolution? So again, years. Long I sound. Other sound that you may want to take a look at too is resolution. Again, the oo sound keeps the oo sound is slaying everybody. Everyone's having some hard time with this oo sound, and the oo sound is tricky because most likely, if you're watching this, your first language has an oo sound. But the problem is that the English, specifically American English oo, is not the same as in your language. Even if the mouth position is identical, what's happening is English is just projecting it from down here. It's coming from a lower spot, and it's coming with a lot more air. So it's not ooh, it's more resolution.
It's a resolution.
So it's not resolution, it's more resolution.
Resolution this year.
Because again, lucian versus lucian. Because that's two things for you. Don't reduce the long I sound, that E in years. Okay. And resolution, get that placement a little bit lower, get more air through your throat. Resolution. Okay. Those would be my big suggestions for you there. And I think that'll have a pretty big impact on how this sentence sounds. Okay. Besides that, I think this sounds actually pretty good. So again, what's your New Year's resolution this year?
What's your New Year's resolution this year?
Okay, we have a question here from Meza about the oo sound. I actually can't tell the difference between the lu sound I said. Oh, I don't have that audio anymore. Let me try to pull that up. Give me 1 second. Take a listen to Meza's. I'm guessing you're a rum, right? Play this one again.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
I'm hearing Lucian versus Lucian. Play again.
New Year's resolution.
Lucian. I think just a little bit lower and a little bit more open. I just want a little bit more air. I think it's very close. I just want a little bit more air to come through.
New Year's resolution.
Resolution versus resolution. Okay. And again, there could be a variety of factors too. It could be my headset. It could be the microphone and things like that. But what I'm hearing to me sounds more like resolution versus resolution. Okay. That's just a note on that. And that also kind of gets back to this point that we're hearing here.
What's your New Year's resolution this year?
Okay. Like I would say this one sounds to me a little tenser than yours, Rumeza, but I still think that they could have more air. Okay. But yeah, thank you so much for sending this audio. I, as always, appreciate it. Happy New Year. Next up.
What's your New Year's resolution this year?
Gonna play again.
What's your New Year's resolution this year?
What's your New Year's resolution this year? Hello to Hamid. Get to see Hamid in class very soon. It's all good, man. That's what the replay is for. But good to see you here. Happy New Year. Going back, so we're using the first one. Play it one more time. Take a moment to think about what am I going to say.
What's your New Year's resolution this year?
I think it's the big thing I'm going to say is stress. I think you're stressing something that I would not stress. Let's play again.
What's your New Year's resolution this year?
What's your New Year's resolution this year? What's your New Year's resolution this year?
What's your New Year's resolution this year?
Yeah. I feel like the sentence kind of dies after news. Happy New Year, Rumeza. Thank you so much for checking in. I appreciate it. Okay. I think you're stressing the wrong word. I think you put a lot of weight on new.
What's your New Year's resolution this year?
What's your New Year's resolution this year? But again, this stress I'm going to push for it again would be resolution. What's your New Year's resolution this year? What's your New Year's resolution this year? You know, what's your New Year's resolution this year? What's your New Year's resolution this year? You know, you could probably get away with putting a stress on new. Like if you view it as like a compound noun, like if you're like a New Year's resolution, like that's a one unit. It's a one thing. It's 3 words, but it's one specific thing. I guess I could buy a stress on new, but I do think that again, it'd probably be more common New Year's resolution. What's your New Year's resolution? That would be probably my biggest recommendation. I think it's going to be more likely to fall in resolution. In addition to that,
what's your New Year's resolution this year?
And this could be the microphone, but it sounds to me like the sentence really drops off a bit after new. New Year's resolution this year. New Year's resolution this year. Whereas you probably want that second half of the sentence to also be just a little bit more audible.
What's your
like that part's super clear. What's your
New Year's resolution this year?
New Year's resolution this year. I also think you probably keep your pitch a little bit flatter on this year instead of this year, more this year, this year.
resolution this year.
Instead of this year, more this year, this year. So I'll just be a little bit flatter on the this year. But in general, I think you, I think there's a lot of good stuff here.
What's your New Year's resolution this year?
Also like that you had that contraction, right? So you're contracting to what's. So instead of what is, more what's. Great.
What's your New Year's resolution this year?
Yeah. So those would be my big suggestions for this audio. You know, change that. I would change the stress. I would lower the pitch a bit on this, not keep it so high. But I like your contraction. I think things are coming in pretty clearly. Thank you, Z, for sending out audio. I always do appreciate it. Just want to take a moment too. If you're enjoying this, just to note, we do. Let me stop sharing for a moment. We do corrections like this every single day in our pronunciation group on Telegram. So if you are finding this feedback helpful about pitches and stresses and things like that, well, then I really encourage you to check this out.
Eel, please. I think your O sounds are a little bit tense. I'm getting a lot of O. Take off the T on center.
Okay. So again, that's something that we do every single day. I listen to your audio files. I give some suggestions based on what I hear. And in fact, every now and then we have people checking in on the group from here. Yeah. They're in the group. They can share their experiences with you. But yeah, if you're trying to get pronunciation feedback every single day of the week, I definitely encourage you to check out patreon.com/fluentamerican. Thank you, Hamid, for in the group. Hamid actually started as a, he won the Wednesday giveaway. So again, if you comment on a YouTube video, I pick a comment every week as well, and one person gets to be selected to get a free 7 days in our group. And I know that we've had some people, other people in the chat as well, that have stopped by at different points as well. Yes, definitely some things to consider if you want to get some feedback. Thank you so much, Hamid, for the kind words. He is not being paid. Although, oh my gosh, what is happening? Sorry, that went crazy. Let's try again. Maybe it just went crazy on my end. Give me one moment. Is that just flashing for me? Or is that flashing for everybody? Going crazy. I'm going to try checking my connections really quick. Give me one moment, people. Yeah, went crazy, right? That was wild. Give people seizures. I'm sorry. Sorry. Okay, take 2 or take 3. Went wild. Fingers crossed. New year. Hey, it looks a little. Okay, that's a little bit more stable, right? Ooh. Sorry about that. I don't need to pay for anyone's hospital bills for that. My God. All right, let's take a listen. Last couple of audio files. By the way, there is still time, a little bit of time, if you want to, get your audio sent and looked at. There's still a little bit of time, but we are running out. Zubaida, I'm sorry. The Nightbot goes crazy sometimes with the spamming. Sorry, Hamid. I would love to pay people, but I teach English, so I barely have enough money for myself. All right, let's take a listen to our next one here.
And yet I go to the gym, find a new job, and read more.
I want to hear especially that first part. Okay. Wait 1 second. Go to the gym, find a new job, and read more. So this is the sentence that we are hearing.
And yet I go to the gym, find a new job, and read more.
I thought the find a new job and read more part was super clear. I'm getting a little bit lost on the first part.
And yet I go to the gym.
I need to go to the gym. And go to the gym.
And yet I go to the gym.
I think what's happening is, I think if you had done need, I think if you would have used that long I sound and just extended it by like a couple milliseconds, I think I'd be with you. But I think it was a little bit too short.
And yet I go to the gym.
I need to go to the gym versus I need to go to the gym. Because the need is like the stress is on gym, but the second most important word arguably is probably need. And so that's that you need that E sound to kind of be clear to let your listener know that that's the part. Good question. I'm not sure. I think it was saying something about caps. Yep. Send me a message if that ever happens to someone and Nightbot kicks you out. Send me a message. You can do it on channel or the website and things like that, and I will find a way to reinstate you. But I don't think that's happened to anyone yet, thankfully. But yeah, going back to the sentence here, keep that long. If you just kept that long I sound just a little bit longer, like I need to go to gym. I need to go to gym. I need to go to gym. Honestly, you could take off even the consonants, but as long as that E sound is clear, I need to go to gym. I need to go to gym. I'm just saying I go to gym. I need to go to gym. That's all I'm doing. So that long I just needs to be with you a little bit longer.
I need to go to the gym.
Watch out for gym with the short I. Gym. So it's not gym, it's more
I need to
gym.
go to the gym.
So I mean gym versus gym. So again, gym, gym. Compare mine to yours. Gym.
The gym.
Okay. So again, a little bit more short I. Okay. Yeah. And you go to gym. Okay. But then the second half of the sentence.
The gym. Find a new job.
Find a new job. Ooh, that's really interesting in terms of pace. Just listen to how you said that first part in terms of the pace versus the second part.
I need to go to the gym. Find a new job.
You slowed down a lot. And that's fine. It's just not necessarily an issue, but it's just kind of something I'm curious about. That first part you did super fast. I need to go to gym. Like that part was really fast, but then the find a new job, that was way slower. You could have gone faster there. Find a new job. Find a new job. It's like the find a new job. You could have linked that more and done it a little faster. Find a new job. Find a new. Okay, find a new job.
The gym. Find a new job and read more.
And read more. Read more. More. How are you saying more?
Read more.
More. Read more. Read more. Your more sounds very it's kind of heavy, especially on the R. More versus more. Okay, so I would just say your R could probably be a little lighter. Okay, so it's not more, just more. Read more. And again, so I need to go to the gym. Find a new job, and read more.
I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more.
Yeah, so those would be my big suggestions for you there. If you have any questions for me about anything I just said, be sure to let me know. But yeah, a lot of good things there. Yeah, thanks for sending audio. I always appreciate it. All right now I'm seeing 2 more audio files to take a look at. And again, if anyone has some files, you just joined us and you want to get your pronunciation examined, what you do is, again, go to vocru.com, send me a link. Last couple minutes, last chances to do so. Take a listen to our next file.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
Very dramatic. Working with this sentence here.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
I feel like you're giving me 3 stresses.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
What is your New Year's resolution this year? And again, my suggestion has been for this sentence, maybe trying to cut it down to 1. It's like, what's your New Year's resolution this year? Just seeing if you could do that with just 1 resolution. Although, again, and one possibility could also be doing, if you view it as a compound noun, you may also put the stress on new. What's your New Year's resolution this year? Okay.
What is your
What is your, and again, there's nothing wrong with what is your, but I do think you're more likely to hear what's your or what's your if you're going to contract it. What's your New Year's resolution? Okay. I don't think that what is your is going to be as common among native speakers in terms of what you're going to hear. I don't think it's going to be as common because it's slower. It's just what is your versus what's your or what's your.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
I want to hear new again.
What is your New Year's?
I'm okay with that, I guess.
What is your New Year's resolution?
I want to hear years, maybe it's years.
New Year's
years. New Year's. Maybe just a little bit lower and more relaxed on years. So it's not years, more years. Just a little bit more relaxed on the E sound. E, that long I. Or it could also be the R sound. Consonants that come after a vowel can have an impact on the vowel sound. They can cause you to have things be a little tenser and have less air. For instance, a word like pain. You could do that A sound perfect, like pain, pay. But if you do that N sound like pain, notice that it just made the sound a lot tenser versus if you make that N sound more relaxed, like pain, pain. So again, pain versus pain. All I'm doing is I'm making that N sound tenser the first time, more relaxed the second time. So I do think on years, something could be a little tense. It's either the E sound or the R slightly.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
Watch out for this year. That's really interesting. For this, you're saying this year.
Year's resolution this year.
So you have some linking there. This year. Which is good. Again, S followed by a Y sound is like that sh sound. So my question is, why aren't we doing that for the first part? Why aren't we doing what's year versus this year? Okay, so that's just some consistency there. So I know you can do it, whether you're aware of it or not.
What is your New Year's resolution this year?
Yeah, I would also take off that stress on this, like this year versus this year. Okay, so New Year's resolution this year versus New Year's resolution this year. Okay, so you can see if you can hear the differences there. So yes, those would be the things I would definitely point out to take a look at. But again, very clear. Things coming across. And if you have some questions about anything I just said, let me know. But thank you so much for sending your audio. I, as always, appreciate it. All right. So unless we get some other audio files in the last couple minutes, Zubeda sent me another one, I see. Okay. But again, the last couple chances to send in some audio files. Since I have a little bit of time before my next class, if people want to send me an additional audio file, maybe with some corrections or some adjustments that they made, now is a good opportunity to do that if you're watching us. Okay. Take a listen to this file.
I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more.
Can we play again?
I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more.
Okay, very careful. Every word here is very clearly pronounced because I don't think clarity is your issue. I think I could understand every word you're saying. Some things that you may want to explore in the future would be, again, trying to use more linking and reductions. Okay, I think that could be one thing that would take your English to the next step. Because again, right now it's still sounding a little bit careful.
I need to go to the gym.
It's like, I need to go to the gym. I need to go to the gym. So you can hear that.
I need to go to the gym.
Lots of the consonant sounds are so heavy, right? I need to go to the gym, especially with the T's and the THs and things. It's just really heavy. Lots of clicking. Need to go to the gym versus I need to go to the gym. Go to the gym. I would definitely recommend trying to just practice that little section there. Go to the gym. Go to the gym. Go to the gym. Just try saying that like 3-4 times. Go to the gym. Go to the gym. Go to the gym. I need to go to the gym. Okay, and comparing that to how you were originally saying it, because it's going to be a little bit smoother.
I need to go to the gym.
Okay, I would also say on gym could get a little bit stronger of a short I sound, so it's not gym, more gym.
Gym.
Oh, back up a little more.
Go to the gym.
Singing gym versus gym. Gym placement down here, low in the throat. Okay, go to the gym.
Find a new job.
Find a new job. I would reduce find a little bit. Find's a little strong. I'm hearing find a new job. Find a new job versus find a new job.
Find a new job
versus find a new job. So again, reducing find just a little bit, a little too strong. I do like job.
A new job.
I also think you do have some linking.
Find a new job.
Find a new job. So you do have a little bit of linking there, which is good. I would just say again, reducing find doesn't need to be so strong. And
read more.
And read more. I would have just stressed read. I don't think you need more. And read more. And read more. Okay. And read more. And read more. Find a new job and read more. I need to go to the gym. Find a new job and read more.
Gym, find a new job and read more.
Yeah. So those would be my big suggestions there. I think you've already, if your goal is just having kind of clear English, very clearly enunciated words and things like that, I think you've already achieved that goal. So you need to kind of ask yourself, what is your end goal? If your end goal is to get more of that natural sound that native speakers have, then linking and reductions, it might be time to try to incorporate those into your speech more. But if your goal is just to communicate with people in a way that people understand, I think you're already at that point. I do think that was pretty clear. Okay. So again, it all depends on your goals. Always depends on your goals. Okay, so that was the last audio that I had been sent. Sent a little bit. I know Anonymous Kraken. Oh, that's the. Send me another audio file. Let's take a listen to this one.
I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more.
Spade, you don't sound very excited about these goals.
I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more.
So, in terms of like tone and things like that, the way you're reading this makes it sound like you don't want to do any of these things. Like, I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more. Can't believe it. Like you don't sound very happy about these things, which is fine. That could be, if you're writing like a character for like a story and things like that, and they not looking forward to it in New Year, they certainly could say it this way, So again, context is always key. That's kind of the vibe that I'm getting though from the way this was read.
I need to go to the gym.
I need to go to the gym. I need to go to the gym. So if that's your tone that you want, you want this to sound kind of like more of a pessimistic outlook on the new year, I think this tone is fine. If you wanted this to have a little bit more energy, something you could do.
I need to go to the gym.
Need to go to the gym. Gym. So you that's how you're saying gym right now. Gym. Versus gym. Like the one thing you could do is I think using more of that rising intonation can make it sound a little softer. You go to the gym. This is gym or gym. And this is helpful for like thought groups. When you're marking off, if you ever mark off thought groups when you're talking, this is one reason why it can be a really helpful exercise. Because how you end a thought group does a lot in terms of giving your listener an idea of how you feel. Okay, because again, if you're doing like gym versus gym, those are very different feels in terms of the tone that you're conveying.
I need to go to the gym, find a new job.
Watch out for job. It could be a little more job. So it's a job, more job, job.
New
Job.
And read more.
I would have made more just a little weaker.
Read more.
I said read more, read more.
I need to go to the gym, find a new job, and read more.
Yeah, so I would have just reduced more and more. So again, it kind of depends on the goal, what you're trying to achieve with the sentence. If this is capturing your tone, you're not looking forward to these things, I think you you nailed it. I think it came off. If you wanted to give it more energy, some things that we mentioned for intonation, I think could be helpful. Okay. These are that's great. So man, I hope that is helpful for you on that sentence. I say you have a question. Let me get to that after we look at this audio. So we got another one. Correction. One sec. Take a look. Manuel. See what we got here.
I need to go to the gym, find a new job, read more.
And read more. So, interesting decision. So you have this rising intonation at the end.
Read more.
So you have rise.
Go to the gym, find a new job, read more.
Okay, and you'll certainly hear native speakers do this. Like if you want to say a list, but you want to imply that list is like ongoing, like it's an infinite list, you can certainly do that by using rising intonations for all parts. I need to do this. You can do that. The only thing I would say is cut off the and for the last one. If this list is like non-ending, then take off the and.
Read more.
And maybe you kind of are.
A job, read more.
I feel like it's there slightly. Like, read more. So I probably, whatever that sound is, if that's the and before read, I would take that off. I would also say go faster, like between job and read. Don't have too much of a pause between there. Good gym, find a new job, read more. So don't pause too long because that's gonna make it sound a little bit too separate. So if that's the intention behind it, I think it's working. Just take off the and make it a little shorter. Other things.
I need to go to the gym.
I need
I need to go.
I need to go.
I need to go to the gym.
I need to go.
I need to go to the gym.
I need the. Okay, and if you took it off, then like I said, then yeah, I would have less of a pause after job. Just a note on that. Okay, so if you did take that off, a little bit less of a pause. Let me hear this again.
I need to go to the gym.
I need to go to the gym. You could probably even still on need have it just a little longer on that E, just slightly.
I need to go to the gym.
Gym versus gym. Gym.
Gym.
Again, gym. To me, when I'm trying to copy that, and you can do this if you're listening to me, do this on your own and see where you're projecting from.
Gym.
Okay, gym. So if I hold that, like gym, I'm kind of getting that top of my throat, kind of like around here. Gym versus j. I'm getting that down here now, right? So I do think your placement's just a little bit high on gym. And what that's doing is it's almost giving it like a long I sound. So it's like J versus J. Because again, you want more of a short I sound for gym. Okay, I need to go to gym. I need to go to gym.
I need to go to the gym, find a new job.
I like that part. Find a new job. I like that. I think it sounds pretty clear. Find a new job.
Find a new job. Read more.
Read more.
Read more.
Read. I think that even your long I sounds a little bit tense. Okay, re versus re.
Read more.
Okay, re. When you hold that E sound, where do you feel the vibration? Like re. I'm getting that high. I feel a vibration shaking, kind of like around here. Okay, lower jaw, top of throat. Versus re. I'm getting that vibration down here. Nothing's really vibrating in my head. Nothing's shaking there. So just kind of something to think about for that read. Okay.
I need to go to the gym, find a new job, read more.
Yeah, but those would be my big suggestions. I do think there's some improvement there, though. Yeah. Okay, I do hope that is helpful for you. Okay, nice stuff. Good stuff. Ben mentions a New Year's resolution: fix their pronunciation. People watching this, people's goals. Again, a couple other ones. Let me see what we got. Let's just, for the sake of time, because I do have to leave for a class soon. These are going to be my last two audio files for today. So we have D and we have Shok again, which is great. So for D's. If Vokaru lets me.
What is your New Year's resurrection this year?
Resurrection.
What is your New Year's resurrection this year?
I think I'm watching out resolution versus resurrection. It could be your New Year's resurrection, no, coming back from the dead this year.
What is
again? What is? Typically, you get more of a fast D sound. So what is more? What is? Mm-hmm. Yeah, what is? Okay. Resurrection with one S, right? Resurrection. Play again. So again, it's a what is more what is. So again, usually more fast D sound linked.
What is your New Year's resurrection?
I would just say also it's very detached. What is your New Year's resurrection? Like it's very detached. So again, there's all those things that we mentioned earlier today about linking. If things like that can be helpful. What is your New Year's resolution or resurrection in this case?
What is your New Year's resolution?
Like New Year's like nothing's really linked together, right? Instead of New Year's resolution, it's more New Year's. It's like ooh, years is getting kind of linking. And then years res. Listen to the beginning of the stream. We talked about linking those sounds together. Could be more linking.
Direction this year. What?
Yeah, and probably just a few too many stresses and things like that. So again, I would have just stressed resolution, or if the goal was resurrection, I would have stressed that New Year's resurrection this year. What is your New Year's resurrection this year? If that's the goal. But I do hope those comments are helpful. Last one again from Shok. Take a listen.
New Year's resolution this year.
Okay, I'll play again.
New Year's resolution this year.
New Year's resolution.
New Year's resolution.
New Year's resolution. Give me a very strong Lu. Like New Year's resolution. New Year's resolution.
New Year's resolution.
Do you hear that? Like it's almost like a wave that comes. Resolution and disappears. Resolution. Doesn't need to be so overstressed. It doesn't need to be resolution. It could just be resolution. Resolution. As long as you have that rise in the pitch, that can be enough to indicate stress. You don't have to hold it so long. And the rise in pitch is very comparative. So for instance, if I'm down here, if I'm here, then if I just go up a little bit, then that's enough to indicate stress. It's like going here, here. That's a little bit too high. Here, 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 here. Just like that. Do you hear that? Like here, 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 here. That second one would sound stressed to your listener. It's not crazy high, but it's just a little bit higher than the preceding sound. Here, 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 here. So that second one is going to sound stressed compared to the first one. So that's what I would also say here. I think on New Year's resolution. New Year's resolution. So when you say you can go down. Resolution. So just by going down, when I go up again, that's going to make it sound stressed. Resolution. So in truth, the oo sound is about at the same pitch level as res, but because I went down on that sound, it's going to sound stressed. Resolution. Okay, so just a note on the stress. But besides that, I think it sounds good.
New Year's resolution this year.
Yeah, I really liked it this year. I think it sounds really clear. So that'd be my biggest suggestion. Just don't overstress your stress. Okay. And I know it's easier said than done. It's very easy to do that, but just kind of keeping things balanced. Okay, guys, I'm going to have to end this here because I have to get ready for my next class. But thank you so much for spending a bit of your New Year's Day with me. I hope you guys have, first of all, a great 2022. Let's hope for a smoother one than 2021 for most people. Stay healthy, stay cautious, and do what you need to do. But also stay happy, enjoy time with your family if you're able to do that. I will see you guys next week with some more sentences and things to take a look at. No singer today. No surprises, at least not that I saw, unless I missed a file. If I did miss it, I'll try to include it for next time. But again, make sure you save that document that we used today to send your files, because that's the same one that we use every week. Okay, so I would say check back in like Wednesday or so and see if I've updated everything so you can submit your files. Yep. And beyond that, thank you so much for spending some time with me. Again, this is Jeff with Fluent American. If you want more corrections every day this week, you need to be in our Patreon group or Telegram group. You can join at patreon.com/Fluent American. We try to keep the prices super affordable as best we can. Other things too, we have things like speaking classes, which I'll be posting some things about this week, and etc. Yeah, I will see you guys next week. Also, keep an eye out if you are a Star Wars fan. I think you'll like our next video coming out tomorrow. Yeah, you guys have a good day, have a good night, have a good afternoon, and I will see you soon, I hope. Take care.